is active. Cameras are set. Somebody put a post out to Facebook, please. They do, bro. Did you see the Lawrence Graham post? Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna kick us over to live in a second, all right? And go. What's up,
What?
Gen Nation?
What's going on, everybody? You
How's
are
everybody
here
doing?
on another fine Tuesday evening. Theater Room episode 55. Guys, am I correct on this?
55, correct.
55.
Bro, the big 5-5, and you're at it again with the triple-headed monster of
Yep.
your boy, the one who's going to be leading this ship right down straight to hell, the captain, Jonathan Entel, and my fellow companions, my co-pilots. You have Zuplex, a.k.a. Wade Pool. What's going on, brother? How you doing
What's
tonight,
going
bro?
on? I'm doing fantastic. What a big night for 55. We're going to do a whole D23 wrap up for 55. How awesome is that?
Yeah.
It's listen, you heard what we're doing, and now with my other co-pilot, ScytheX, aka Fred DeRose. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. I'm ready to kick this thing off, and there's a lot to talk about, so let's just dive in.
Let's dive in, boys and girls. Listen, we're not gonna waste any time because we want to get this information out there as fast and as best as possible. And we say it every time. Thank you for rocking out with us in any way, shape, or form that you do, choosing us for being your information for anything entertainment, pop culture wise, video game wise. We love you guys and girls. Thanks for rocking out with us. We're going D23. We're starting out with a little Star Wars action. We're starting out with a little Star Wars and/or they had a trailer out. I'm gonna jump down to you, Zuplex first. Give me your feedback on it. How'd you feel about the trailer in general? Give it to us.
The trailer really, they didn't show a lot as far as details of what the story is going to be, but they gave you a feeling of what the show is going to be. That it's going to be this tense, like political rebellion thriller. That's the start of the rebellion. You get that feeling like you did when you watched Rogue One for the first time. You know, with this show, with the trailer that they shown. You know, it really was a well done trailer. I'm super stoked for the show. They announced at D23, excuse me. They announced at D23 that this show is going to be 24 episodes split up into 2 separate 12-episode parts. They're
major.
Part one's done, so we're going to get 12 episodes off the rip. I think they're Fred. If correct me if I'm wrong, but they're opening with 3 episodes, right?
Yeah, they're gonna kick it off with 3 episodes off the
On
rip.
September 21st, and then we're gonna get 12 in this part, and they're filming the other 12 right now. That's what they announced at D23.
I mean, this is bigger than the Daredevil that they just announced at Comic-Con. Daredevil's 18, and we thought they were crazy for doing that because they're 6 to 8 episodes long on Disney Plus. And the fact that we're getting a 2-part 24 episode season 1 of Andor, it makes me believe though, is it only going to be a 1 season, even though it's a long season? Is it just going to be the 1 season and then be done?
By nature, I think it kind of has to be though, right? Because it leads directly into Rogue One. So I think this is just a one-off story.
Yeah. What I'll say about the trailer though, everything Zuplex said was correct. It gives you that feeling of like a real rebellion happening. But I just want to point out that everything that we've gotten that hasn't been mainline Star Wars has been fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was going to ask you that. I was going to ask you. It's a great point. Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, like what we got from the Mandalorian, even though Boba Fett didn't live up to the Mandalorian status, it was still a good series. And we still had Mandalorian, which made it a good series. But just the stuff outside the main line of Star Wars has been it almost like revitalizes the fan base. Everyone is like more hype about Star Wars because of everything going on around the main saga, as Zuplex loves to call it, right?
Well, the Skywalker saga.
the Skywalker saga.
Outside of the Skywalker saga, you know?
But yeah, no. Rogue One was a fantastic movie. That was like outside the norm. Andor looks to be right on par with that. And you know the quality we get from Mandalorian. So I have high hopes for this show.
I'm gonna parlay off that, and I'm gonna start back with you, Scythe, for this one. Okay, so we're gonna go to Tales of the Jedi now. We got a trailer for an animated show. Okay, and I want to start with you. You sort of alluded to it a little bit, but I really want, obviously, for you to dive into it. But I also want to know, with Andor getting the 24 episodes, right, and then we go into Tales of the Jedi, and you talked about Mandalorian. They were talking about a season 3, right? Is it, as you dive into Tales of the Jedi, number one, how excited are you based on the trailer? Number two, are we getting too much Star Wars at this point? If you can answer both of those.
I don't think we're getting too much Star Wars yet. One, because the movies aren't coming out as fast like Marvel movies are. Marvel's like every 2-3 months we have a movie coming out, and in the gap of those 2 movies are 1 to 2 shows. So it's like it's just the constant cycle. Star Wars, I don't think we're there yet. So every little bit of Star Wars we get, I think has been the right amount of time, because they're really honing in on the quality of the show and not the quantity.
Okay, and what was your take on Tales of the Jedi? Something you're also excited for?
Tales of the Jedi looked awesome. Zuplex, they called it what? It was a 6-part series, right?
Yeah.
It was
like I believe it's 6 episodes.
Each episode kind of stands on its own, right?
That's what it seems like. They weren't really super clear on it. They did say that 3 of the episodes were going to be like Ahsoka's beginnings.
Yeah. But what they showed us in the trailer, the action sequences, the animation is exactly like what you would expect from Clone Wars and Bad Batch. Same type of animation. It just kind of carries on, and it looks like it's the beginning stages, even before like the birth of Ahsoka and stuff like that. You're getting the true origin of the character and not what we saw from Clone Wars. So it's pretty exciting. And of course, Dooku. I'm
more excited about the Dooku stuff.
Yeah, we're seeing Dooku and his path to becoming the Sith Lord. So I'm excited for it, man.
The origin of Dooku, I think, is a good story to tell, and I think it's smart to do it in animation form.
Yeah.
because then you don't have to worry about getting Christopher Plummer back as, because he's a little older now and stuff like that. They don't have to worry about the extra CGI. They can really dive into it.
Yeah.
Bring in Mace Windu that way. We saw him in the trailer. Yaddle's in the trailer. Like they're really going deep into before the Clone Wars and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be a fun way for them to give us more Star Wars information without beating us over the head with a whole nother new series by doing it in animation.
Okay. I like it. By the way, I brought it up before about the Mandalorian season 3.
Yeah.
And I wanted to touch base on it before we go into Ahsoka Skeleton Crew. I wanted to go into really fast just because I touched on it. I feel like it's a good parlay, and then we'll go right to Ahsoka because I feel like Star Wars. I feel like this story is going to be paramount for some reason. Everyone's talking about it. So really quickly, Zoop, Mandalorian season 3, season 1 and 2. I think they did a great job. Season 3, are you excited for it, or now is it too much?
No, it's not too much.
Okay.
First off, I don't think you can ever have too much Mandalorian at this point. We got Mandalorian season 2.5 in the middle of Boba Fett, and everybody was still happy to see that. This trailer that they dropped didn't show us really anything, but it showed us so much.
Sure.
I got goosebumps while me and Fred did a reaction to it. We both got goosebumps at the same time.
Yeah. It was epic.
It's wild how good this trailer looks.
Okay.
He meets up with Bo-Katan. There's other Mandalorians. The armorer is telling him that he can't be a Mandalorian anymore, because he chose Grogu and all this other, or because he took his helmet off. And it's just, there's so much going into the show. The Mandalorian is now the focus of the Star Wars universe. We're no longer in the Skywalker saga. We're in the Mandalorian saga now.
That's a great point. Yeah.
He is the backbone of the Star Wars universe right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can have too much, because we're not getting inundated with them either. It's one season a year, so it's not like it's too much.
Sure. Yeah, Fred, you wanna play off that? You have any opinion, or,
yes.
or you want to hammer it up?
I will say. Sorry, I'm just checking some. I will say. That trailer was probably one of the best Star Wars trailers I've ever seen. And
wow. Yeah.
And for them to not really show us that much and still deliver a trailer like that it blew my mind. The stuff we were seeing, we were actually seeing the Mandalorian, what looked to be going through Mandalore caves and ruined cities and talking to us. What the hell's her name? Bo-Katan. It looked like on Mandalore, she was already on the throne. She wants to rule Mandalore. And as we know from season 2, the only way to rule Mandalore is defeating Mandalorian and getting the Darksaber. You need the Darksaber. So I can't wait to see how that conflict's going to end up playing out, and just to see what Grogu's involvement now, that it's not more of a mission for Mandalorian, it's more of he's a sidekick companion. You know what I mean? It's not so much I need to get him to a safe place. It's no, he's with me for the whole thing now. So I kind of want to see
Grogu in a Mando helmet, bro. Yeah, that's all I want to see.
Grogu in a Mando helmet.
Grogu in a Mando helmet.
I want to see him in this chain link, and I hope he stole the lightsaber and at some point brings it out, because that would be badass. But yeah, no, I want to see how that plays out as well. The trailer is dope. If you haven't watched our reaction, go check it out.
Okay, I mean, listen, I to be honest with you, I didn't see it yet. So based on what you guys are saying, it's something I must do, and I will do for sure. Because I'm pretty pumped up for it. But our last piece, and I almost feel as though it's equally as big of an announcement, but the Ahsoka Skeleton Crew announcement, I'm hearing that there was a big one on the Skeleton Crew itself.
Yeah, Skeleton Crew is the big one.
Yeah, I was going to say, so Zuplex, you want to bring us through that? What was announced and what they had?
So Favreau came on stage and he brought out the new director. It's going to be John Watts. the guy that did the Spider-Man No Way Home and Far From Home and all that stuff.
That's big.
So knowing the rumors that we've been hearing for the last few months about how he was on Fantastic Four and then got pulled off Fantastic Four, it seems as though he got pulled off. Feige pulled him off of Fantastic Four to go do this. And from what Favreau was saying, this was like John Watts' whole idea.
Wow.
They didn't give a lot of info about what the show is about. We do know it stars Jude Law. And it's about a bunch of like kids or teenagers that get lost in the Star Wars universe. So again, we're getting another brand new story that doesn't revolve around the Skywalkers, expanding the Star Wars universe even more.
Yep.
I don't see how this isn't a hit, to be honest with you. John Watts is a fantastic director. Favreau's behind it.
Yeah.
Feige's behind it. Like, I don't see how this becomes a miss at all.
I would agree with that. I don't know much about the story. I didn't research
They didn't
it
tell
as
us
much.
much.
Yeah, I didn't research it as much as you did, obviously. But to just piggyback off what you said, just seeing a group of people or teenagers or however old they are, to see them kind of explore the Star Wars universe on their own and go find their own path is pretty exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like we're getting Goonies in space, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
You can't knock Goonies in space. That's like a dream from my childhood.
Another surprising trailer that was interesting, other than the Star Wars ones, which I felt for all intents and purposes were probably the headline, right? Based on everything they gave us and how excited everybody is about it, including the two of you, right?
Yeah.
Willow was kind of interesting to me. I feel like something like that sort of could get lost in the mix, right? But is equally as interesting and fun. So Scythe, what was your take on Willow? Are you equally as excited? Are you going to be, in November are you going to be tuning into it? What was your take on it?
I didn't know what to expect from this trailer because I've never seen the original Willow.
Okay.
And as we learned in the trailer that this is a direct sequel to the original Willow. Now I need to go back and watch that because from what I saw in this trailer, it kind of felt like Lord of the Rings meets Harry Potter. It was very like magical adventure, lost in the woods. Like it seemed like a very fun just a fun adventure to follow these characters on, and I'm definitely gonna check it out. Like I said, I don't know what the story's about, so I'm gonna have to go back and watch the original. But from what I know, from what Zuplex was telling me, that the original Willow is in this sequel as well, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's played by Warwick Davis.
Yeah,
he's a little person actor, famous little person actor. We were talking about it on the trailer breakdown that we did, that basically he played the Leprechaun. He was big in like the 80s, 90s. Even recently, he's been in a bunch of the newer Star Wars movies. He's a fantastic actor. He plays Willow. The original had Val Kilmer playing Mad Mardigan. He was in search of the sorcerer Willow to help him take down, I don't remember who the bad guy was because it was 1988 and I was 4. So when the original came out, and listen, it gained a lot of cult following. I think it's the right time to bring back a Willow type. We're seeing stuff with Rings of Power and House of the Dragon and all this other stuff.
Right.
Like, this fits right into that niche. So
well said.
It's fantasy without being. It's fantasy. If I remember what the original one was, it's a fantasy movie without taking fantasy too seriously.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Where it's just like beating you over the head with like the rules of the world and this, that, and the other thing. Like at one point in this trailer, Warwick Davis has a fucking flamethrower.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a wand, it's a fucking flamethrower. Like,
yeah.
You got the fantasy aspect without going to the labyrinth, right? So
Exactly.
it's the original. It was definitely fun. Same thing. I mean, I watched it a little bit later.
Yeah.
I'm an '80s baby as well, so I watched it a little bit after a few episodes. It was fun. It was just what we would call an adventure, and if you're a
Yeah.
sci-fi person, you're going to enjoy it. I'm sure the acting is going to be great, no doubt about it, and I'm sure the storyline's probably going to be even better. And listen, you're talking what, 30 years later, almost 40 years later, right? So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool to play off of something like that. So definitely, it's I think it's going to be something we're going to dive into. If for nothing else, people can check it out, and this is the right time, dude. You said it right.
Yeah,
With
it's definitely
all
the
of the
right time.
sci-fi stuff, bring it out. Why not? You got to strike while the iron's hot, so to speak.
Yeah.
And talking about striking while the iron's hot, let me continue to be the greatest seguer of all time. Don't want to toot my own horn. I do have a little statue. Indiana Jones 5. I can tell you guys, Harrison Ford recently said he doesn't want anyone replacing him. When he dies, Indiana Jones dies.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Scythe, for Indiana Jones 5, how do you feel about it? How'd you feel about the news overall? And how do you view the vision of the movie in general?
Well, I didn't see too much of what the movie's about, and a lot of the Indiana Jones stuff was closed door. It wasn't available to the public. So I
Okay.
don't really know, but what I do know from Harrison Ford was he actually got a really emotional, and it kind of feels like the
Yeah.
end of Indiana Jones. This is how he wants the story to end. And the old movies we had was Shia LaBeouf. It was kind of
Yeah,
hinted like he may take over the franchise. He's
that's
kind of
what I thought.
the sidekick, companion, whatever. Um, and from what you guys are saying, like he truly wants to the character dies with him. So I don't think there's going to be passing of the torch. This might be the final chapter of Indiana Jones.
I mean, let's be realistic. How much longer can he go with it? You know
Right,
what I mean? Like,
exactly.
he's getting up there in age. Like, trust me, I want to see Indy just as much as
Yeah.
everybody else wants to see Indy. But like,
For him to get that
he was
emotional,
fighting back
though, it
tears.
kind of seems like it's,
Yeah.
He's at his end.
Yeah, he was fighting back tears on stage. I mean, they did show a teaser trailer at D23, but it was closed off. I haven't seen any footage on it. I do know that Salah's back. He's in the movie. They did say that. So I mean, it seems like it's going back to like the original. We're gonna get more Temple of Doom, less fucking Crystal Skull, is what it seems like, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, let's see what happens. I mean, did we need another Indiana Jones? Probably not. I'm one of the,
That was my point. That was my point. Yes.
I'm one of the few that thinks that if you take away Crystal Skulls, it's almost a perfect trilogy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
agreed.
The first three were they're just fun adventure movies when they used to make fun adventure movies.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get movies like that nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So going back and watching them, they're very like nostalgic in that aspect of we don't have fun adventure movies anymore. So it was a perfect trilogy, albeit with its problems. But at the end of the day, like, it's the Indiana Jones trilogy. Like, we didn't need more than that.
Yeah. I agree. And it's kind of like Indiana Jones is just a fun treasure hunt to watch. Like he's always going after some sort of object. And it's kind of like, to me, if you guys seen the National Treasure movies, like seeing how Nick Cage and his crew kind of like, go from clue to clue to clue to clue to find the ultimate treasure of what they're looking for. Stuff like those kind of movies are very unique, and it'll be sad when it ends, but Harrison Ford can't do it forever, so I'm not surprised if this is the final time.
Yeah, I mean, it really should be.
Let me ask you, isn't it weird? You don't see it many times. Two things. Before we move on, I actually want to hear from both of you about it. Based on our ages.
Mm-hmm.
the time frame. Star Wars movies, Indiana Jones movies, Rocky movies. How many series of movies that were put together with the storylines and their longevity, right? How many years later, like we're still looking at these characters and their arcs are coming to a complete end, right?
Yeah.
You have like Harrison Ford, he was killed off in Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
And you almost felt like his character, like he told everyone, whatever movie I'm doing, I want the circle to be complete.
Yeah.
At the end,
Pretty much.
right? You almost,
Yeah.
and the Rockies, you know, he gets cancer and he's battling, and you almost feel like you want his circle to come to an end in Creed. And now with Indiana Jones, he wants to, like, we essentially feel like he's burying his character with him.
Yeah.
You know, first of all, you know, for you guys, are we ever going to see something like this ever again that you feel will have this type of longevity?
I don't
No.
think so, man.
No.
It's
I mean-
hard to. What can you really pick? Maybe a John Wick 30 years from now. I don't know. Like what's out there that has the credibility and the, like you said, the longevity to last. You could watch the first Indiana Jones, the first Star Wars. You could watch these movies over and over again years later, and they still hold up. I don't think we get those movies anymore. The quality of movies have gone down since then.
Well, it's
Everything's a
nature of
reboot of
business
something,
change.
so it's like,
Yeah. The nature of the business has changed. Like movie making
Yeah.
as a business has completely changed now.
they're running out of
So,
ideas. Is what's happening.
It's no, it's not necessarily that. It's that studios aren't willing to take a chance on a new project because it costs too much money, and they're not making DVD sales on anything. They're not making streaming sales on anything. So the money has changed. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, the first Indiana Jones, like all right, Rocky's a perfect example, right? Rocky was an indie movie that won an Oscar for best writing. You know, Stallone produced it himself. He got people involved in it, you know. So, and then it turned into this massive franchise that lasted, what are we up to, 40 years now? It was in the 70s, the first one. You know, so we're almost at 40 years of Rocky. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, like, studios aren't willing to take the on a Rocky anymore because it's not going to bring them any money. So the nature of the whole business has completely changed, and to the detriment of the viewer, because now you're right. We don't get any original ideas. We don't get any original franchises now. It's just rehashed stuff over and over and over and over again because that's what makes money.
Real quick, we got Buttersworth in chat. How you doing, buddy? He goes, "Why is Zuplex looking like Stingray from Cobra Kai?" And then he goes, "Is it true Seth Rogen is playing the captain in his biopic movie?"
By the way, that is super insulting. Out of all the people, I mean, it would have been even better if you had given me at least like another Jew like Adam Sandler to give me some. That's like very insulting, bro.
I mean, Rogan's Jewish, isn't he?
What?
Rogan's Jewish, though.
Yeah, he's a fat Jew that doesn't look anything like me. That's BS, bro. Like, I know I got a dad bod, but at least, like, come on, dude, you know? That's just insulting. It's just insulting. But I'm gonna try and move past it as best as I can.
Yeah.
You know, I'm already on like borderline playing like the busiest intersection after tonight, and then he hits me with that. So I want to move on now. We're gonna move on to the Marvel side. So we've, as you can see, we're sort of on a little roller coaster here. We got our Star Wars, we got our fantasy adventure out of the way. We went back, 30, 40 years with Indiana Jones. And now we're going right down the Marvel rabbit hole. And it is quite the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, at this point, get lost in it. It's wild. We got some in-depth stuff from D23, and I'm interested to hear from both of you guys.
Mhm.
I'm going to start out with something we've seen before, but we got some new footage with Wakanda Forever. Zuplex, how do you feel about the new footage? Did it give you any more insight? Did it make you any more interested? Did it take away? How do you feel?
So we weren't able to see the footage, but they did describe it. I saw a few Twitter feeds that described it. And basically, we saw Riri flying in the suit, which is good because we knew we were getting Ironheart, but we weren't sure if she was gonna have the suit or not. So it's good to know that's in the trailer. They showed a lot more Namor. Apparently, M'Baku goes to like hit Namor and hits him with his staff, and the staff just shatters on Namor's arm. So they're really showing like the power of Namor and Atuma and all the Atlanteans and stuff like that, which I think is good. A lot of the plot is apparently revolving around the rest of the world trying to basically steal Wakanda's vibranium.
Huh.
So they said that
shout out Dr. Doom.
Shout out to Dr. Doom. I mean, it's almost a precursor at this point that he's going to show up, or at least maybe the Thanos after credits scene of like, I'll do it myself type of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's Doom. But they did say that the Dora Milaje play a big role. At one point, they capture a bunch of prisoners that were trying to steal vibranium, and they basically walk them into the UN while Queen Ramonda is giving her speech. Like that speech that we saw in the trailer of her at the UN giving the speech, they said the Dora Milaje basically walks these prisoners in. They're like, yo, these guys are trying to steal our shit. What the fuck?
Wow.
So a lot more information that was given in this viewing, which is good, I think.
Yeah, it's cool to know that in the trailer that we may get soon, we're actually going to see Ironheart fully suited. Because I'm curious what her suit's gonna look like. But as far as like the strength and power of Namor, man, I can't wait to see what they do with him. Because we kind of have like with Aquaman being out and Aquaman being a good movie, we kind of know what to expect from that type of character. So I'm curious what Marvel's going to do with that type of character now that they have control of it. You know what I mean? Because they're very similar. And I 100% think it's Doctor Doom stealing the vibranium on the ship in the first trailer.
Well, the way this description made it sound was it wasn't just one group of people.
Yeah.
That they're facing multiple groups of people coming in and trying to steal vibranium. So it could be Doctor Doom. It could be other people. Like I'm sure Doom's going to play a role in it somewhere, but it doesn't seem so locked in to it being like just people from Doctor Doom camp or whatever.
Doctor Doom also rumors he's being played by Henry Cavill. Want to get past that?
I mean, listen, Henry Cavill's rumored to play everybody at this point, including Jonathan Ento in the live action biopic.
I had to throw it out there.
Oh man.
You know, so they're gonna switch it up a little bit, and also, we're gonna go in. You guys talked about a little bit. Ironheart. We got a teaser. First of all, how excited are we? Scale from 1 to 10, Scythe. Scale from 1 to 10, excited about Ironheart.
I'm at about a 6, and the reason being is I don't know much about the character. So I want to learn more about it with Wakanda, having Wakanda kind of be her impromptu origin, and then kind of dive more into her story on her own series. But I'm curious to see what she looks like suited up, and yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see it. It's a Marvel property. I'm just hoping with her story, it helps push us further along whatever timeline story we're following at this point. But I just don't want it to feel like it's its own thing and it's not really attached. So with her being in Wakanda, I'm hoping we get more togetherness with everything.
I mean, they had to find a way to change up her story because obviously Tony's not around anymore to mentor her. Right. So
wasn't Tony the one that built her? Tony was the one that built her suit originally.
Yeah. He built her suit. you know, but the main thing is Tony's not around anymore. So your next idea is to go to Wakanda and Shuri to help her build the suit, because that would make the most logical sense in the MCU that we're dealing with now, right?
Right.
So I think it's a smart move to put her in Wakanda and everything like that.
We
We'll
lost
see
the
if
captain's camera, by the way.
we lose him.
Lost
You
the
still
camera.
there?
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah. So
I
I
had a
mean,
text from Mama Dukes. Got to answer that.
Okay. Relax.
so I mean, as far as an Ironheart show, I mean, listen, we're obviously heading towards the Young Avengers. They want to introduce the Young Avengers. They're doing it through Disney Plus. It's going to be one more series of that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, is she going to be the new Iron Man for all of Marvel? Probably not. But I mean, we're not going to like her as much as Tony. But like at the end of the day, doesn't mean it can't be. It'll be bad. It just we got to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. I'm. You know what? It's so. I think the special part about the group that we have here in general is I think that everyone brings an aspect of expertise to the table, right? So Zuplex, you had this unique thing about these like BC level characters that like their history and backstory. So it's cool because when we get to people like Ironheart, that Scythe and myself both, we're both interested in finding out a little more in depth. You somehow like intimately know this character that I would never otherwise know, and I know it's based off the fact that you read probably the comics, right?
Yeah.
No doubt about it. But truth is, though,
I love the smirk.
But listen, the fact that you guys laid that Seth Rogen bullshit on me, you're getting this, okay?
Listen, Waters did that. Don't blame us.
Whatever. You delivered the news. I'm going to shoot the messenger.
Right.
But no, it's cool, man. So it adds insight to me. And even by the way, we were talking about Moon Knight. I didn't really know much about Moon Knight, so before I got into it, I learned a little bit about it, and then I watched the show, and I was like, wow, So it's pretty cool. But I'm the one that I'm something I'm very interested in myself, stoked about it. I know what we're getting here. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania footage released at D23. Guys, like, is this the one? Scythe, is this the one?
It has to be, man. We already know we're getting a Kang Dynasty Avengers movie. This show, this movie is gonna directly lead to that Avengers movie a couple years later. So what's gonna happen in this movie? I can't fathom to understand the crap we're gonna see in the quantum realm. Well, it's just gonna be a bonkers movie, and the fact that Marvel gave a trailer at Comic-Con and D23, and we have
And
yet
we
to
still
see
haven't got one?
anything, pisses me the fuck off. Like, just give it to us, man. Like, show them special like scenes. Give us a fucking trailer at this point. Like, let's go already.
A little bit. Give us something.
So
Give us something.
Duplex, go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna tell you guys what Rudd said at D23. He says the whole movie's bananas.
Huh.
And he says the guy Jonathan Majors, who plays Kang, he says he's incredible and throws the whole thing into new territory.
Wow.
We know we're getting MODOK.
Right.
We know that this thing's gonna be all over the place. So it's gonna be definitely like, I'm just hoping they don't fuck it up at this point. You know what I mean?
I hope it's not Doctor Strange all over the place.
Yeah, but see, like, I know we bring up Doctor Strange a lot, but like, my thing for Doctor Strange was I didn't have the expectations that you guys did for Doctor Strange, and I wound up enjoying it way more than you guys did, because your guys' expectations were through the roof for it, where I kind of figured early on that it was going to be a much smaller movie than everybody was thinking. You know what I'm saying? And
it was also though it was Marvel presenting it to us that way. It was
Correct.
they were setting our
I
expectations.
don't think they did. In my eyes, they
They're
didn't.
calling it multiversal madness. What else?
You always harp on the name of the fucking movie. Like,
what
like,
else
bro,
are you gonna harp on?
It was madness. What do you want me to say? The madness didn't have to do with the multiverse. It had to do with Wanda. Use some fucking
the madness didn't
all I'm
have
saying
to
is that
handle the multiverse.
This movie, Wanda went mad. That's the madness, fool.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is this movie has high expectations all around it.
It does.
So if this one fails, it's going to be a big, big blow. Big blow.
Do you agree with this, Zoop? I think part of the reason why it's got that hype. This is a play right off of Loki.
Yeah.
And Loki blew us away, right?
Well, not only that, but like they already announced that one of the Avengers movies in 2024 or 5 or whenever is going to be Avengers Kang Dynasty.
Right.
Yeah.
So we know this leads directly to that. So if they fuck this up, it fucks up an Avengers movie, a huge Avengers movie later down the road.
Yeah.
So I just think it's they have to hit this one out of the park, otherwise it's going to be really bad for them.
I had obviously my list as the mediator for today's show, a little different. I'm just going to switch one thing up because I brought it up already. Loki season 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, I just want to make one note because we missed something on Ironheart, if we can.
We did talk about it, bro. Let's go.
They're bringing in a new character into Ironheart. He's going to be the villain. It's going to be the Hood. It's played by Anthony Ramos. Going to be like, so the Hood in the comics was basically, they call him Red Hood or the Hood. They changed it to the Hood to differentiate from DC shit. But basically, he's able to siphon power from Dormammu.
Oh wow.
Okay.
So it's an interesting character to bring in as the villain. We don't know much more than that. We know the actor and everything like that, but I forgot about it, and I just wanted to throw that back in.
So, are we going to get some sort of Doctor Strange tie-in to that show?
Probably down the road. I'd assume that Doctor Strange winds up being the guy that puts the Young Avengers together.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
It does.
It seems like in Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange was the cog, the centerpiece in everything. They were chasing down different Doctor Stranges in different multiverses. He was the guy who decided good or bad, right? So, so it really like, you essentially felt like he was the balance in every timeline for good and bad. So it makes sense, man. It definitely puts 2 and 2 together. So it makes sense. But going into Loki 2, you know me, I'm not so high on shows, right? Loki 1 blew me away. I don't want it to be too much. Sometimes I'm the type of guy that less is more, and I like things when they end off good. Leave it where it is. I'm not sure where else you could go with Loki after that, because I thought it was perfect. But with that being said, it was so good, I'm definitely watching the second one. Right? So how do you feel about it, Scythe? You know, seeing Loki 2, what are your thoughts on it? You think it's too much? Leave Loki as it is, or are you excited for this next adventure to follow up?
I'm excited because Zuplex. When is Loki coming out compared to Quantum?
After.
It's coming out after. So Loki's gonna have to kind of piggyback off of Ant-Man and kind of follow the new Kang that's taken over the TVA, and it's just gonna kind of be a continuation of that, I believe. And we still know Sylvie's there, the 2 of them. So we have 2 variants kind of still floating around together in the TVA and doing whatever missions that they're going to be doing together. So, like you said, less is more. But with this show, the way it's done, you can definitely go more seasons on it, and I can't wait for season 2.
This might actually come out before. I might have spoken. They're filming it right now. And Ant-Man doesn't come out until
Ant-Man already has
May.
trailers they're showing though. So
yeah, but
no,
Ant-Man's not coming out.
Ant-Man's like January, February.
Okay, so it's probably after Ant-Man. They're saying that Loki season 2 picks up directly where Loki season 1 ends. So he's back at the TVA. Mobius doesn't remember him. B-15 doesn't remember him, and they're going to be dealing with all of that. Timeline wise, I don't think it matters.
It could be the Kang that we're seeing in Quantum.
I mean, we may not even get a Kang in Loki season 2. To be honest with you. You know, I mean, we don't. The problem with like the Loki series is it kind of exists outside the timeline because they're in the TVA, so it's not like really the same timeline doesn't really exist. Yeah. So they can play a lot around with this a lot more. So we don't know, and they haven't given us much information. So it's like we don't know exactly.
It could be a variant if we do get a Kang. It might not be.
It might not even be the same Kang variant that is in Ant-Man. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. Honestly.
Loki is coming summer of 2023.
Oh, so then it is coming after Ant-Man.
Yeah. Loki gives you the feel, minus the Avengers Kang, film that we're gonna get.
Yeah,
it does give you the feel as though it is a standalone storyline, right? And I think that's what it opened up Pandora's box for us with the multiverse. But it was also cool in a sense that you're like, they can really do anything and everything. The fact that they have all those Infinity Stones at the TVA, like all that kind of stuff is it's pretty cool, So, like I said, I think less is more. I'm definitely gonna watch it. I hope it doesn't ruin all the good work they put in the first one because I listen, from all 7,000 Lokis they had, they were all awesome, So, it was cool, I'm excited about it. So, to continue on this,
John, what do you think of them adding Sylvie and having her be a part of like the whole? Well, we don't know if she's the whole season, but what do you think of them adding her and having 2 Lokis run the show at this point?
I mean, listen, if they're going to add it into the actual MCU itself, into another film and add it in, or are we just talking Loki shows?
Probably. Yeah.
I think it's fine. They're making her a main character. Once again, Loki's character in general is not one that I was so keen on, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that follows the comic book storyline. I don't know to what degree. She played it well. The storyline was great for her. I thought that it ended. I didn't think, she was going to end up killing him. I didn't think any of that.
Yeah.
I love the play on, there should never be 2 Lokis in the same storyline. There should never be 2 Lokis in love with each other. I thought that it was pretty cool how they played that off for sure.
Yeah.
So it leaves you wanting more. Carmine, is that are they close to a comic storyline or no? No,
this is completely original, basically. I mean, like there's been versions of Loki throughout all of the comics where he changes form. Like there is a female Loki in the comics and stuff like that. Like, but for the most part, this doesn't really follow any of the Kang storylines.
Okay,
it's not really. Loki was never really involved. It was more like Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four and stuff like that. So this is very like original from them, which I don't think is a bad thing. And I do like the fact that like you alluded to with the 2 Lokis, that Loki is such a narcissist that the only person he could fall in love with is a different version of himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a real good way to play on like his psychological, mindset and stuff like that.
Real quick before we move on, sorry to cut you off. Owen Wilson, I'm excited to see what he's gonna do this season.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like the whole season's a restart.
Yeah.
Like Loki's gonna have to convince them all of the TVA being the TVA again, like because they're starting off and then no one remembers who he is.
Yep.
So it's gonna be interesting how that all plays out. So we're just gonna have to wait and see at this point,
Loki comes out after the Guardians 3 movie, so I don't know if there'll be anything in there with that. But.
Yeah, I don't think this is tying into anything just yet. I don't think it's tying in. I mean, based on
it might tie into the end of Ant-Man, but
yeah. I was gonna say based on when the films are coming out, I don't think this is a anywhere near a before thing. I think this is like outside the box, line that we can maybe get later on. Maybe Loki taps into something he shouldn't. He always does that. Sets off another disastrous event he shouldn't have been at. Whatever. But I think it'll be good, and it's one everyone should definitely tune in for. The first one hit a home run, so tune into that. This is another one I'm going to lean on you guys for, man. Werewolf by Night, not familiar. Wasn't something that knocked my socks off. Wasn't something that screamed to me, wow, this is it. So Zuplex, you're gonna have to sell me on this one. And when I mean sell, I mean the good sell, right? So
well, I'll tell you right now, the trailer that we got, and this one was released to the public. We did a little breakdown on it. It's a big swing for Marvel. Now, this is only a Halloween special, so we're assuming it's gonna be like an hour and a half long. Hour 15-minute, like just one-off show about Werewolf by Night, right? Okay. They filmed it in like the 40s, 50s Universal Monster style, like grindhouse type movie. So it's definitely a different style completely than we've seen from Marvel, which I mean, I kind of like when they do stuff like this because it shows that they're swinging for the fences on certain things. Is it going to tie into a bunch of things? Maybe. I mean, Moon Knight first appeared in a Werewolf by Night movie. I'm sure we'll see Werewolf by Night. I mean, a comic, not movie. But I'm sure we'll see Werewolf by Night later on down the road if they go to like Midnight Suns and he's going to be in with Blade and Moon Knight and all that type of stuff. He's definitely a character that they could bring forward into that. In this trailer, we saw Elsa Bloodstone, the monster hunter, right, along with a bunch of other hunters, and we also saw the motherfucking Man-Thing, bro. Which for them to
like
bring in
Man-Thing, it took me like 20 minutes looking for this.
He's there. That's all that fucking matters, bro. It's fucking Man-Thing's there. Yeah. Like for us to get Man-Thing, the most like outlandish character in all of Marvel comics, like it's going to be a wild ride. I'm thinking it's going to be low stakes. Like it's not going to be super like in depth as far as connecting to the rest of the story, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think that's what we need sometimes.
I'll just say, I don't know much about Werewolf by Night. What I do know is, from the trailer that it was very 40s, 50s, black and white style movie. And I'm all about that. The fact that it's coming out in October 30th on Halloween, basically, it's a Halloween special.
Well, it's coming October 7th.
Oh, it's coming that early? I thought it was the end of the month.
No, they said October 7th.
Jesus. Okay. Well, it's an October movie, but the fact that they're making it old time horror and it looks very campy, like it was a 50s horror flick.
Grindhouse style. Yeah.
It's not the norm that we're used to from the MCU. So the fact that it's so out of the box, that makes me more interested in it to kind of see where they go with it. And if we get like a Blade teaser out of it, then sign me up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think sometimes, I think to reset the bar, I think to recalibrate, I think this is perfect. The way you're describing it. So I'm going to go off based on what you're describing it, right? For me, Zoop, you alluded to the fact that Scythe and I, every movie, we gear these movies up to be like the next coming of Kingdom Come, right? Maybe this is the type of movie to help like really level that bar. Like, hey, Marvel has other things. It's not always mega, right?
Yeah.
And this may actually help reset that. So,
I think so.
Yeah, that's cool. I think that's cool. It shows, if for nothing else, it shows creativity. Mm-hmm. It shows creative diversity. It shows that they're willing to now know that The Pandora's box is open. Let's dive in. Let's put our hand in and see what the fuck we pull out. Right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And let me tell you, when you talk about putting your hand in, let's see what the fuck comes out. Nothing else sticks out to me than Secret Invasion.
There we go.
So,
guy's like a fucking master at these segues.
Yeah,
It's
I
amazing.
love it.
I can tell you that, bro, when you talk about a Jack in the Box, dude, we don't know where we think we know, but we don't know where the fuck, because really, this could be just unimaginable. Who's who, what's what, who's doing what, who's been doing what, where has he been, where they been, is it really them, what's going on? Zuplex, please do me a favor and straighten me the fuck out, bro. What is going on?
I don't think he can. I don't think he
honestly, me and Fred did the trailer breakdown for this, and we were talking about the same exact thing, where it's like, this may make us question everything that's coming and everything that's happened already in the MCU. The way this trailer was cut together. Like, have you seen the trailer yet, John?
Dude, I promise you, it was like on my list of things to do, because the one thing I said, you know what? But I tell you why. I got to my laptop and I said no. I looked at my wife and I said, I'm not doing it. She goes, why? I said, it's going to fuck me up. And I can tell you, like, I'm a simple dude. Okay? Like, I get the same model cars. I buy TVs from the same place. Once something has me questioning things, I get all fucked up.
Yeah.
And see, I knew I'd play that trailer. Bro. And I would be like, I have to watch every movie again and see who's who. You know?
He's doing that weird twitch. He's a scroll. I know it.
Yeah, like, Scythe, come on.
Prepare to be
fucked
up, because
Scythe, there's no way you don't think the same way I do. Come on.
100%. This show is just gonna twist our whole world around. Like, it's over.
Particularly the only movie that's gonna be safe after this is gonna be like Captain America: First Avenger, because we know the Skrulls didn't come to Earth until Captain Marvel.
Yeah, right.
So everything after Captain Marvel could be Skrulls.
Pretty much.
Like, that's gonna be like the craziest part about this. But this trailer is so goddamn good, bro.
It was good.
It is so good. There's a part in this trailer. I don't want to ruin it for you because you haven't watched it yet, but there's a part in this trailer where me and Fred both went, "What the fuck?"
I mean, do I just throw this trailer on right now? Like,
I mean, you should live react it.
No, because he's gonna have to pay attention to it. We're gonna have dead air for fucking like a minute and a half.
He can talk during it. I want to see his reaction.
You get a live trailer reaction from Jonathan right now.
You know what? You know what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get through this because we got a lineup, and let me tell you, we got on at 8:35, 8:40, and this has been a fucking power hour. Okay, we are killing shit right now, taking names and kicking ass. So I'm not gonna stop the flow because we're really doing our thing. At the end of this, I'll do a live reaction. I'm telling you right now, the two of you, if this fucks me up and I can't sleep, I'm over you both. So, right into it from here. And you're talking about larger, epic conglomerations coming together of things that maybe we're unfamiliar with, but lead to something major. Armor Wars.
So now the interesting thing that they said was Secret Invasion leads directly into Armor Wars.
Yeah, that's okay. Go ahead. So now for people who are a little unfamiliar, because this is something larger, and I know this is something larger on a comic standpoint, right? But give us a little bit of background on this real quick, Zuplex.
It's hard because knowing that Secret Invasion is that storyline is gonna lead directly into this Armor Wars storyline, I don't think it's gonna be necessarily very close to what was in the comics.
Sure. Okay.
But in the comics, basically, a bunch of people were trying to steal Tony Stark's tech, and they got a hold of his Iron Man suits, and then War Machine and Tony had to go and basically fight them all off. And it was a whole thing about like Hammer Tech and Ironmonger, basically trying to steal the Iron Man technology.
Okay.
Now, I don't think we're getting that, only because of
Robert Downey.
No, I think it's more along the lines of that Secret Invasion is leading directly into that. So I think this is going to have to do more with maybe Skrulls.
Okay.
But I do think we're going to get Riri back, and maybe we get Riri, War Machine. What I'm really hoping for, and this would be the most baller thing ever, is if we get John Barenthal back as the Punisher, and they put him in the Punisher War Machine armor. Like, I think that would be a baller ass way to reintroduce the Punisher into this world.
That'd be dope,
right? And give him the Punisher War Machine armor, and you can have Rhodey take on like an Iron Man type of role.
Yeah. For
you
sure.
know, or he goes back to like Iron Patriot or something like that. We could figure out something for him.
I mean, clearly,
we'll figure it out for him. Scythe, are you familiar with this? And is there something you're anticipating from this you're excited about?
I'm not familiar with the whole Armor War storyline, but the fact that it's coming directly from the events of Secret Invasion, it makes me that much more excited because from what we saw in the Secret Invasion trailer, it's going to turn our world upside down of who's who, what's what, like you said. So I'm curious to see what Rhodey's going to be doing, who he's going to be fighting, who's he going to be fighting with. Having Punisher, as Zuplex said, would be amazing. I would love that. But I'm curious because...
And we do see Rhodey in the Secret Invasion trailer.
Right, and I was just about to get to that. Because we see him in the trailer, and they reference him being a part of the detail, which we're all assuming is the presidential detail. Because why wouldn't you want War Machine as your presidential detail?
Absolutely.
So... if Armor Wars is directly from Secret Invasion and from what we saw in the trailer, it could be maybe an attack of some sort, like a continuing attack of the presidency or a government agency, and that's what calls War Machine into it, and then he gets backup, or maybe there's other War Machines out there, or Iron Man's, like you said. Maybe they did steal Tony's tech. Some random warehouse, and
maybe they bring Justin Hammer back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe. I'm curious because we could go in so many different directions with Rhodey, and I like how they're tying him into Secret Invasion and having that bleed into this new story.
Don Cheadle said something a couple days ago in a quote, and I had it written down next to this, and he was talking about Armor Wars, and he actually said. Armor Wars is going to turn comics mythology on its head. And this is exactly, it's if we think Secret Invasions is going to flip things upside down, now he's confirming this is going to turn comic mythology on its head. You wonder what type of chaos we're going to get out of Secret Invasions to lead to this, right? Is our government already infiltrated, and now he's trying to figure out who the real president is? You know what I mean? Like there's so much to this. Pretty cool otherwise, obviously. And one has to wonder that there's a group that's very much tied into what the government does. And we're talking about government, what they're into, what's going on. You're talking about what the next set is. And there's no group that's closer tied into the government than Fantastic Four, bro. And did we get bigger news than the Fantastic Four director announcement? Is there anything on Earth that we've wanted more? Come on.
Yeah, I wanted the cast for the Fantastic Four, which is what they said was going to happen.
Okay, I take it back. Other than the cast, I agree. Good point. Is there anything else? Because I'll tell you what. As we see in DC, that's not even a thing anymore. It's gone. It's erased. It doesn't exist. Is there anything worse than a director fucking it up? Right? So
absolutely.
So the director announcement. How excited are we? How excited, Zuplex? I mean, come on, bro.
Honestly, I'm a little on the fence about it.
Really?
Yeah. So first off, Feige came out, announced the director, and literally stopped and said, "That's all the Fantastic Four news we have today," and just fucking moved on. I just told everybody.
Give us the damn cast already.
Matt Shackman, I don't think he's a bad director. But so Matt Shackman's the guy that directed the first season of WandaVision, right?
Yep.
WandaVision to me wasn't that great of a show. It ended super strong, but it had a lot of problems in the beginning. Like up until you got to like the point of like where they were going with the Agatha stuff and the kids and all the kids growing up and everything like that. It was really, really like slow. It was really like, I don't know if it was directed poorly, but like it didn't really blow me away.
Okay.
And now he's saddled with the Marvel first family of the Fantastic Four, you know?
It's a big job. Big job.
Am I saying he can't do it? Absolutely not. I'm sure he's going to knock it out of the park, but I do have a little bit thing in the back of my head being like, he could fuck this up. You know?
But, I mean, if there's one thing I think we all trust, we all know three things, right? We know we're going to die at some point. We know there's taxes to be paid, and we know Kevin Feige knows producers.
Yeah.
So I think we can trust it, and I think all the points you landed on Zuplex, man, I agree. I didn't think about it that way, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm sort of skewed. And Scythe, I'm going to lead into you. Maybe you feel the same way. When Marvel announces something, I'm like, okay, cool, right?
Yeah.
I don't really think about it, but how were you about the announcement of the director? Were you like Zuplex was, or were you like I was?
I was more like Zuplex because the director was announced. It wasn't official, but it was announced maybe a week or two beforehand.
Yeah.
So
they said
and
it was going to be.
yeah, so I already knew who the director was going to be.
Okay.
And I was hoping D23 was actually going to give us at least Sue Storm and Reed Richards. Like at least give us some sort of actor news of who's playing the Fantastic Four, and we didn't get any of that. And for him to just be like, here's our director and we're moving on. And it was kind of like lackluster and wasn't as exciting as I was hoping for it to be.
I mean, do we isn't that sort of like the Feige way, right? Whenever one of his actors or actresses like leaks something, he's the first to send some secret message to them, like "shut the hell up."
Yeah, no, he snipes them out for sure.
Yeah, he's the ultimate troll, bro.
Yeah,
yeah. I think this screams Feige all over it. Like he wanted us to say what the hell, right?
Yeah.
Like there's something happening here that when he drops this shit on our plate, we're gonna fall backwards and we're just gonna have our feet straight up in the air. You know, like just dangling. Like, wow, this is gonna blow us away. I believe that.
I hope so.
Yeah, I believe it. So I think it'll be good. I'm also wondering. I saw it, and I was reading up about it, and I'm also a little iffy on this. I know when it comes to the villains we're excited about, we talked about Hawkeye, we talked about certain people coming back, and even Daredevil. I wanted to know about your opinions on Echo. I am once again a character I'm not so familiar with, and even a storyline that to me, reading up about it a little bit, wasn't so appealing. But listen, the thing about Echo is we get Matt Murdock. The thing about Echo is we get Kingpin, right? So you're getting characters that we want. But to what degree do we go to get them? So Zoop, give us a little Echo. Give us a little Echo feedback here.
Yeah. I mean, we met Echo in the Hawkeye series. So we already know, a little bit of her backstory in the MCU. It's a little different from the comics.
Her relationship with Kingpin.
Her relationship. I mean, that was a similar thing in the comics where like she worked for Kingpin. Matt kind of took her under his wing, trained her. They wind up falling in love. It's a whole love story type of thing. This is when Elektra, one of the many times that Elektra was dead, because she keeps coming back because it's comics. But do I think that they could build a whole show around her, maybe for one season as a way to bridge to Born Again?
Okay.
You know, because we do know, because at D23, Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox both came on stage. Well, Vincent D'Onofrio came on stage for Echo, and you know, he was returning as Kingpin. He's gonna have the one eye, so I'm assuming that eventually they may go with the blind Kingpin at some point.
Okay.
You know, I just don't know if it's a strong enough character to be able to hold a whole series. You know what I mean?
Okay. Scythe, how do you feel about it, bro?
She wasn't the most exciting part of Hawkeye, but she did play a good role in it. So I'm curious to kind of see what they build off her. I like you guys have been saying, I'm more excited to see who comes on the show rather than her. But Zuplex, you think we're gonna get Kate Bishop in this? I feel like she would come back for this show.
Maybe. I don't think so. I think they're
so.
holding off on that. I think she's training with Clint somewhere, and they're just gonna. I don't think she's coming back to New York anytime soon. I think this is gonna be mostly like Echo trying to figure out the underground and trying to really finish Kingpin off, because Kingpin's gonna come back, and that's probably gonna brings Echo back out.
I mean, she's going to go from, you know, an antagonist to Marvel, Avenger, you know, so
Yeah.
we know we're going to get one. You know, other than that, that's, I mean, if for nothing else, it leads us into Daredevil Born Again, which I know we're all thrilled about, right? And I think that's going to be, I mean, dude, we've talked about this. I think we've talked about it extensively, and I'm going to let you guys take over here. But is there any door that Daredevil Born Again doesn't open up at this point? I mean, Scythe, it's Daredevil character itself works with everybody, right? So,
I mean, we're gonna see him in She-Hulk soon. He's all over. We saw him in Spider-Man. We see him everywhere.
Yeah,
it's just the fact that they're gonna make this a 18 episode season is just mind blowing. Because you know, like I said before, Marvel and Star Wars don't really do that. So the fact that we're getting 24 episodes in Star Wars property, and then Daredevil's following up on an 18, it's just, I don't know. I hope this is more of the trend we get, like fully fleshed out stories where we're not rushing everything in 6 episodes, like in Moon Knight and stuff like that. But the fact that I'm assuming we're gonna get Kingpin, so Echo's probably gonna play off of and lead right into Daredevil.
Well, Kingpin's definitely going to be in Daredevil. They announced that. They announced it at D23. There's no announcement if there's going to be a bullseye yet. We don't know if it's going to be the actual Born Again storyline. I think it would be a disservice to them to actually do that storyline at this point, because they did it already.
Yeah,
Daredevil season 3, and it was phenomenal. Like, it was probably the best interpretation of that storyline you could possibly have done. So why rehash the same thing over again? I think they're using the Born Again title as like a play on words of like, this is the reemergence of the new MCU Daredevil that we're creating.
Right. And I hope they bring in the other Defenders. Somehow, if contracts work out, whatever. I hope within these 18 episodes we get a little.
They could recast Iron Fist. I'd be all right with that.
True, that's fine. Luke Cage I thought was good in his role, and Jessica Jones I think.
Jessica Jones, they said that she's going to show back up eventually. Like Marvel's been in talks with her. They pretty much confirmed that. We just don't know where. It might be in Echo.
Her problem is she's signed on to another show right now, so her availability is very slim. So they have to find a way to plug her in there. And I figured like an episode or 2 of Daredevil would be like a nice segue of getting her back into the MCU. That's
what I'm thinking though.
Yeah, so I'm hoping like with Daredevil coming, and you know, obviously I hope they don't lose the Netflix touch of Daredevil with this one. Like
Yeah,
the
so do
fact
I.
that we had so many like one-shot fights, hallway scene, like the brutality of the fights. He's seeing the blood dripping from his mouth when he's on the ground. Like, I don't lose that, because if we start pulling that back, we start losing why we loved this show to begin with, and it becomes less watchable, in my opinion.
I mean, I've said it once. I'll say it a million times. The Daredevil Netflix show is one of the best things that Marvel has ever produced.
Yeah,
it is absolutely phenomenal from start to finish. And if anybody out there in GGEN Nation hasn't watched it, go watch it.
Yeah.
Go watch it. It's worth the time. I promise you. It's fantastic.
Netflix gave you the blueprint. Like, don't mess it up. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that 100%. They got to keep that same feeling.
Talking about it's interesting you say it. Talking about keeping the same feeling. Captain America, New World Order, the leader was announced. But Captain America, New World Order in general, keeping the same feeling. Are we going to get our Captain America back, or are we now in the new Captain America? Falcon and Winter Soldier. Sam Mackey's now the new Captain America. We're getting a new Falcon, and also, is there anyone more? Is there anyone better cast as Tim Blake Nelson as the leader? Bro, that guy's a genius.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, and they're finally paying off something from the Incredible Hulk from years and years and years ago.
Yep.
Years. You know what I'm saying? They're paying off something from like the third MCU movie finally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I think is really good to bring him back as the leader. They haven't really announced much about what this movie's going to be about, but the fact that we're getting Anthony Mackie back as Cap, I think is awesome.
Great.
Joaquin, they're going to have Joaquin Torres fill in the Falcon role. We don't know if Bucky's going to be in it. I'm assuming he's going to be, because it would make zero sense for him not to be in it at this point.
Gotta be. Yep.
I'm sure we're going to get U.S. Agent at some point also. I'm sure we're going to get John Walker also at some point, but who knows?
I think we're gonna see Val. Val will return.
Yeah. You guys are too good to me. You guys are too good to me, bro. You're both.
How's that set up, huh?
Yeah.
Both of you are really too good to me. I'm not going to segue yet because Scythe is not done, but you guys are too good to me. Thank you. Go ahead, Scythe. Finish up.
You can segue after this. I want to see in this movie who Sharon Carter was communicating with, and seeing what kind of
from the show.
Yeah, from the show. Like, you see her walk out of her, out of her what was it? A pardon. She got her pardon finally. She can come back home. But now she's like Agent Carter again. She has all the secrets, and now she's gonna be doing her.
I think we're gonna see her
dark
much earlier
web
than
shit.
that.
You think so? I don't
think we're
know.
gonna see her in She-Hulk.
She-Hulk, really?
I think she's the one behind trying to steal her blood, and she's trying to get a super soldier serum back, because that's what she lost in Captain America: Winter Soldier.
That's a good point, but I just can't see her.
The Secret Invasions tie into this at all?
Yeah. Well, I think we saw from D23 a complete and utter flow through of a single storyline. So I think Secret Invasion ties into Armor Wars. Armor Wars is going to tie into Captain America, and then Captain America will tie into our next segue. Go ahead, John.
Where U.S. Agent and Val and Agent Carter are all going to be, showing up at some point in time in Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
And, Thunderbolts, dude, Thunderbolts can be hit or miss. I'm very interested. Zuplex, you and I actually were able to dive into this a little bit off segment. We talked about how many characters they could have tapped into. And I was actually okay with the characters. But Zuplex, you had a different take on this, bro. Take us down that road.
Yeah, this is the worst Thunderbolts lineup I've ever seen.
I
It's
didn't
terrible.
think it was there that fast. Wow.
Like honestly, like
There's no
they
build
could've
up. We just went
done-
right to it.
No, Marvel, you fucked it up. Like you had one job. Don't fuck up the Thunderbolts. Just don't fuck up the Thunderbolts. Like honestly, like there's so many different routes they could have gone with the storylines that they've set up already. And this isn't a Thunderbolts team. It's not. It's like a Dark Avengers team. It's like a Black Ops like team that some government put together. Like this isn't the Thunderbolts. Like every Thunderbolts team has been bombastic with the characters that they threw into it. Like every iteration of that team has just been like wild. Even from the first one, it was a bunch of characters you never fucking heard of mixed with Baron Zemo, right? And then you went on to the Norman Osborn Thunderbolts, where it was Norman Osborn and Venom and Penance and Swordmaster, right? And then you went from that and you went to Red Hulk, Elektra, the Punisher, the Leader, and Agent Venom. You know what I'm saying? Now I understand you can't use Venom, right?
I mean,
you could have left in Ghost. Okay, I'm okay with you leaving in Ghost because she's a character you got to bring back at some point. You could have left in, even though like it's the bastardized version of Taskmaster. And before you jump all over me, it's not because she's a woman. I don't care about that. It's because they fucked up her backstory. That's why she's a bastardized version of Taskmaster. You can make her a woman. Doesn't bother me at all. Honestly, I think it fits better for the storyline that she was in. So you can bring back those two. Yelena makes absolutely no sense that she's there. Not after the ending of Hawkeye. Makes no sense why she would be there. Bucky makes absolutely no goddamn sense why he's there whatsoever, right? Considering he's the right hand to the fucking new Captain America.
Well, Val went up to Yelena at the end of Hawkeye when Yelena was at
Absolutely
Scarlet Witch, not Scarlet Witch.
No, that's at the end of Black Widow, and that's what leads into Hawkeye. But at the end of Hawkeye, Yelena talks to Clint, realizes that she shouldn't kill him, and that they're on the same page. So she's going against Val at that point.
True, you're right.
She knows that Val's full of shit. So why is she in the Thunderbolts?
I had that
Makes no
flipped. You're
fucking
right.
sense.
You're right on that.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Where's the Abomination? Why is the leader that you announced for New World Order not in the Thunderbolts?
Yeah.
This could have been Zemo, the leader, Abomination, Ghost, and Taskmaster, and that would be a badass Thunderbolts team. Yet you gave us this shit. No one gives a fuck about Red Guardian. You fucked it up, Marvel. I hate you.
Yeah, I don't know why Red Guardian's there.
I'm really upset about this Thunderbolts lineup.
I'm okay with US Agent being there. I'm okay with most of the team, to be honest. But the fact that they didn't have Abomination makes zero sense. Like, why not just announce that? Clearly, he's a part of the MCU again because he's in She-Hulk.
But as a team, it makes no sense. It's 3 super soldiers and 3 assassins.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I don't know, man. Why? Like Baron Zemo should be there. It's just
Zemo 100% should be there. There's no reason to not have Zemo there.
And the fact that they left the little smidge of symbiote in fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah, but we know because of contract stuff that's not going to happen. So like, let's just
a little bit. They left it there.
Yeah, that's for phase 9 in 2035.
The Spider Saga.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Zoop, there's been many of meltdowns on your end. And I bought into that meltdown wholesale, bro. You convinced me that they fucked up, dude. And,
I was really upset about this, trust me.
Oh, you were, bro, you brought it. I mean, like, listen.
I want to see the Punisher. It'd be a great way to have the Punisher back.
Yeah, you could have brought the Punisher back into it.
So now that we wrap this up, I want one from each of you. The one thing you are the most excited about from D23 Scythe. Go ahead. The
Mandalorian season 3.
Okay. I love it. Zuplex, give me the one.
I'm gonna have to agree with Mandalorian season 3 only because we got a trailer and the trailer really did that and Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion, I'm very excited about also because that trailer really delivered.
Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, if that wasn't a fucking power hour,
John,
then you don't know what a fucking power hour is. Okay.
John, real quick.
Yep.
After hearing us talk about everything, what are you excited for?
Well,
If
asshole,
anything.
Secret Invasion, what I'm going to watch right now.
There you go. There you go.
No, because you like, honestly, the way how passionate you were both talking about Mandalorian, definitely. No doubt about it, because you get as clear as day. Both of you are all in, super invested.
Yeah.
The trailer blew you away. The storyline, the possibilities of it. I gotta say, in general, I'm a big Star Wars guy, but I was a little out on Star Wars because I don't like too much of something. I like to leave it as, okay, great, right? Like, we got it, we love it, let's end it, done. But you guys really sold me on our Star Wars segment, man. You did a great job. So I'm gonna be tuning in with you guys weekly and really enjoying every minute of it, hopefully. But what I'm gonna do right now, for 90 seconds, I'm gonna play this Secret Invasion trailer behind me. I'm gonna put the sound on. And if at any moment in time I feel as though my mind is blown, I'm driving to Zuplex's house and I'm fighting him. So let's see. See, I'm fucked up already. Is this a real person? Who is this?
Who is this?
You've been avoiding Earth. I have called for your help plenty of other times, and you've been pretty content to let those calls go straight to voicemail.
Yeah, well, he's got his eye back. He's fake. I'm fucked up. It's all fucked up.
How much do you know about your security detail?
What do you mean, how much do I know about him?
Don Cheadle.
Is it the real Cheadle?
They got everybody in this, dude.
We're gonna be very careful
now. Yeah. Yeah.
For this fight that lies before us.
That's what we're saying, everyone.
Not war alone. And I'm the last person standing between them and what they really want.
Between them. Come on, bro.
And it's that.
Now he's got the patch on his eye. Come on, dog.
Is it the right one though?
Don Cheadle, is he the president? I'm out. I'm out on this. I can't do this, dude. I can't do a whole show of this, bro. It's not fair. It's not fair to me. Bro, I'm 36. I have 2 kids, dude. I'm on medication, bro. Like, I can't go to bed every week wondering like what's what. That's not fair.
Yeah.
That's not
But
fair.
how good is the scene where he's talking to the guy and then everybody in the room changes?
Everyone stands up. Yeah.
No,
No.
you didn't notice what happened?
No.
Everybody in the room looked different and then they all changed to the same person.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
I did not.
Missed it? That's like the most baller part of the
Yeah.
trailer.
Oh, they're all the guy that he grabbed.
There you go.
You're in no shape for this fight that lies before.
There's your thumbnail.
That's not fair. That's not fair. I'm done with you guys, dude. This is some shit. No, that's that's wild, dude. Listen, there's a lot on the docket. Guys, as always, first of all, this was one polished ass show.
Did pretty well.
Thank you guys for bringing the heat again. We had a lot to run through. It looked like an impossible task, but we are solution-oriented motherfuckers. And that's what we do. We get it done. So, ladies and gents, thanks for tuning in. Whoever's rocking out with us, hit the subscribe button on really every fucking social media platform you can. Show us the support. Send it to friends. Send it to family. Hit that button. Hit the like button. Hit the love button. Hit the heart button. Whatever button you want to hit that's positive. You hit the negative one. Kick rocks. All right? That's how we do it. You're here with your boys, ScytheX, Zuplex, and the captain that led the ship 2 weeks in a row straight to hell. The captain himself, John and Tell, guys and girls. We are out of here. GGEN Nation. Love you. We'll catch you later.
Peace. $20. So. Killed that, bro.